Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're going to be unboxing Nanty Narking, a new game by Phalanx Games from designer Martin Wallace. This is a game that was on Kickstarter in September of 2018 and is now being delivered at the end of September of 2019. This is a retheme and a reprint of an older Martin Wallace game based off of Discworld. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Nanty Narking will play from 2 to 4 players. And game time is about an hour. It's a bluffing and deduction style game set in Victorian London and the Sherlock Holmes universe in general. So, let's see what we got here. We've got a couple decks of cards. So a lot of this game is about card play. On your turn, you're going to be playing cards. Those cards will give you certain actions. And you're using those actions to fulfill a secret objective that only you will know what it is. So here we have just a collection of action cards. And you see up here have the different actions that you will take when you play this card. These are event cards, which can trigger throughout the course of the game. There are different action cards you can play that will actually require you to play an event card. And there are some event cards that will actually end the game early, but you see they're very thematic and interesting. Like here, there's a Zeppelin crash where all the pieces in a neighborhood will be destroyed. And you have one of my personal favorites, the Mysterious Murders card, where each player rolls a die, and then the value of that die, they remove a piece from that neighborhood. We've actually already done a review on this game based off the pre-production, which I'll leave a link to in the description in case you want to check it out. These are the location cards. So basically you can build properties on locations. And when you do, you get access to these cards. And these are once a turn abilities. Some of them let you draw extra cards or what have you. So these are the secret roll cards. Each player will be dealt 1 at the start of the game. There are 2 versions. So there's the beginner version. And then here we have advanced versions. And I'll actually tell you on the card what it takes for you to win. So let's do Sherlock Holmes himself. Sherlock Holmes wants the game to end by the action cards being depleted completely. Fagin wants to have a certain number of trouble markers on the board, at least 8. Some of these, however, depends on the number of players. So this card, you want to have a net worth of a certain amount. And you see it varies depending on player count. These cards were actually added during the Kickstarter. This is something that wasn't in Discworld. And these are basically building special abilities. So every player is going to have a group of buildings. And you'll be dealt one of these cards at the beginning of the game. And whenever you put out that building, you can use your card to activate a special ability that only that building has. This is the same concept basically, but with the player tokens. So each player is going to have one of these tokens. And whenever they play that particular character, they can activate this card. You'll only be dealt 1 at the beginning of the game. So you can activate your card for that special ability. And here's just some more of these secret objective cards and the blank card, which I'm actually not sure what that's for. Maybe to make something up for yourself. Another deck of cards here. It's going to be more of the same. Action cards on top here. You'll notice that they are a different color. The last ones we looked at were a reddish color. These red ones will be at the bottom of the stack of the action cards, and the gray ones will be at the top of the stack. The gray ones are a little bit less powerful. But basically, they change colors so that you know how far into the game you are. There's even one card that does nothing. There are ways to give cards from your hand to other people, so this is probably a card you want to give away. But the red cards just let you know how far through the game you are, that you're halfway through, and also they get a little bit stronger. You can see there's more things going on the cards themselves. Let's see what else we got in here. These are just player aids. And really, the whole game is explained on this player aid. They're really very useful. They tell you how to play on your turn. You're going to be playing cards during your turn. You play one naturally, but sometimes you play a card that allows you to play another card, and then it explains the different actions. So putting out an agent, placing a building, assassination, where you can kill off other people's units, gaining money, interrupts are just cards played on another person's turn. These are the event cards. So if this symbol is on the card that you're playing on your turn, you have to draw one of those event cards, which we saw earlier. This is also the only action that is not optional. If it's on the card, you have to do it. Everything else you can choose to do or not do, depending on your preference. Here you have play another card, so if this is on the card you play on your turn, you can play a second card, and if the second card has this symbol, you can play a third card, and so on and so forth. Down here is just a handy little guide. It tells you what all the locations on the board, what their special power is, and how much it costs to build there. And then on the back, it tells you what all the events are, all the random events, so you're not surprised by any of them. Also, how each player wins the game, for the basic cards, and then for the advanced cards. A lot of this game is trying to figure out what the other players are playing as, if they're Fagin or if they're Sherlock Holmes, and trying to prevent them from reaching their objective while also reaching yours. So it's handy to have this little guide, just so you don't have to continuously ask whose special power, or whose in-game objective belongs to each player. Here's the rule book. It is fairly short because, again, a lot of this game is you can play with just the guides. You really don't have to refer to the rule book for much. Here's Chipboard with just the money, 1s and 5s that you'll gain through the game. Very easy to punch. Nice thickness. The game does come with a 12-sided die because there are 12 districts, and cards will reference certain districts, or you may have to roll the dice to see which district it applies to. Here's the board itself. This is, I know you can't see all of it, this is a big improvement from the board we played with. You can see the different areas are easily distinguishable because of color, and also because of this really nice line separating them. So this is double-sided, so you can play on the other side, which increases these white lines, but you lose the color. Personally, I prefer the colored side, but play with whatever side you want. Got a few extra bags here just to put resources in. And then we get to the figures. So there are 4 sets of figures. Every player gets their own set in their player color. And really the only reason that these are different is for those cards I showed you earlier, the building and the agent cards. So you'll get one of each of those cards at the beginning of the game. So you will have a special power that nobody else will have. For instance, you may have a special power that only applies to this building, or a special power that only applies to this worker. It's the only reason that you get the selection that you do, but it's really nice to be able to have different buildings, and these are very nice sculpts, as you can see. Nice plastic quality as well. See, there's a little bit of a warp there, but not too much. And they don't feel brittle. These are the Grenadiers, which will basically come out and lock down areas through event cards. Nice little cobblestone basing to them. And again, each player will have a full set of these. So if you're playing as blue, you'll have all of these available to you. And you'll use these agents and these buildings to try to claim areas. Last thing I want to show you is a few things that we were sent from the Kickstarter. So if you back the Kickstarter, you got these coins for free. And these just replace the cardboard version with 1s and 5s. They're really nicely detailed coins, inspired by Victorian money. And then also we have these little card holders that came with the game. These were an add-on extra. Phalanx was nice enough to send these to us so we can show them to you. Because this game is so much based on card play, you'll have a hand of cards every round, and you can put those cards just in these little holders like so you don't have to hold on to them constantly. If you're interested in this game and looking for somewhere to purchase it, we'll put a link in the description to Phalanx's website where you can buy this game. The Kickstarter version costs £60, which is about $75. I don't know what the retail version is currently. They are still taking pre-orders. If you go to their website, the coins you would have gotten if you backed for Kickstarter, but otherwise you can buy them after the fact for £20 or $25. Card holders are £18, $25. And there's also a neoprene playmat for an additional £40 or $50. That's it for our unboxing of Nanty Narking. Again, if you're interested in our review of this game, we'll have a link in the description along with a link to Phalanx. Thank you for checking out our videos. Again, if you have any suggestions or comments, leave them below. We're looking to do more of these videos, so we're very interested in what you think and how we can improve. Thank you for checking out our video, and we'll see you next time.